A quick word from REWRITE. Guys, you probably heard of Viagra or Cialis before. Maybe you've even tried them. But if you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet REWRITE Ready. REWRITE Ready is a next-gen prescription treatment designed to amplify arousal in the brain and boost blood flow. Unlike the usual pills that can take hours, REWRITE's 3-in-1 formula dissolves under your tongue and kicks in fast. On average, just 15 minutes. Effects can last up to 36 hours, so you can stay confident and in control when the moment is right. Head to REWRITE.com/LockedOnNFL, just like it's spelled on your screen, and use promo code LockedOnNFL to get 15% off today. That's REWRITE.com, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNFL, and use promo code LockedOnNFL for 15% off. Individual results may vary with prescription treatment. Compound drugs are permitted to be prescribed under federal law, but are not FDA approved and do not undergo FDA safety, effectiveness, or manufacturing reviews. Please visit the REWRITE website for full safety information. All right, guys, the Ohio lawmakers rewrote the Modell Law yesterday, allowing...
Well, I wasn't there, Mike, so if I wasn't there, I don't have a good feel for it, you know?
Stop it.
Okay.
Mike doesn't get that.
Yeah, I kind of missed that one.
Okay.
We just talked.
Yeah. Forget it.
But they rewrote the Modell Law. This officially paves the path forward for the Brook Park Dome to officially happen. The back and forth appears to be over. Jason, you are the most knowledgeable Brown Stadium person I know, so I'm going to ask you to give everybody a brief explanation of the steps that happened yesterday and what this means moving forward for not just the Browns, but the city.
This means the Browns scored a rare victory. That's what this means.
Good.
The Browns are getting everything they want. They're getting the $600 million from the state. The Modell Law is not going to stand in their way. I have to say, I'm not an attorney. Don't plan to be one. Don't pretend to play one. I can't recall another time where lawmakers literally rewrote the law in the middle of a court case. Like the city's case was ongoing against the Browns, and lawmakers were like, here, give me a pen and paper. I'll take care of this, and there you go. So, I mean, I'm a little, I don't love the way that they rewrote the law.
Well, Jimmy gave enough handouts to the politicians.
I don't love the way that they rewrote it, but for the Browns, they got everything they wanted. They're getting the $600 million from the state. They're getting a new stadium. This is happening. Shovels will be in the ground probably early next year, and this thing will open in 2029. But this is yes, I know we've had to talk about this 100 different times, 100 different ways. But yesterday was significant because it was sort of like the finality to the whole thing. It's not officially official, but it's as close to officially official as it can be.
This thing been official
a
long time ago.
Billionaires get what they want always.
When we did the show where the NEO people, whatever, tweeted out that Jimmy Haslam and the group has bought land in Brook Park.
Yeah.
It was done. I don't know why this is going. Like, you can fight it all you want. It was happening that day. When that report came out, it was happening. Question, is it true that Jimmy had built lower.com in Columbus?
Built what?
The soccer field, the Columbus Crew.
Did he build that out of, I have no idea how that was funded. I don't know. I'm sure he probably has something into it.
What does that have to do with this?
Well,
because he owns the Crew.
Yeah,
it's the Crew's new stadium.
No, because they were saying like they put the renderings out for lower field, like what it was gonna look like, and they said like what the actual thing was, it's not quite what the rendering.
Of course, yeah.
So they was saying when you look at Brook Park, like the rendering looks great, but they still in Columbus is still.
Well, if you
are people going to Brook Park to do all their shopping just because the stadium's there? I'm not convinced of that.
That is a great debate.
Yeah, I mean Crocker Park's pretty nice on the west side.
And I actually when we were in West Virginia,
Pinecrest, Beechwood.
Yep.
Oh, you're throwing out like Pinecrest. Go ahead. When come on, West Virginia. What was the practice?
Greenbrier.
Greenbrier.
We were at the Greenbrier, and all the writers are sitting around one night, and we had that conversation. And maybe Ant can speak to this because he lives in Parma. Like, Crocker's beautiful. The one on the east side is beautiful.
Yeah.
Where do the people who live in Parma, are they coming to Crocker? Will they go to Brook Park? You know what I
guess.
mean? Like,
how
far
Anthony,
will-
go ahead. What do you
I was
got?
going to say South Park is my go-to mall, or Great Northern.
That was the other one.
So Crocker's a little out of the way.
Okay, so but I bet that they're, like, listen, I'm on the west side. I'm in Avon Lake. You're in Rocky River. I ain't going to Brook Park to shop.
No.
But there's other people with Lakewood.
Maybe. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cleveland, like west side of Cleveland, yeah. So I do think that is there enough to support it? I don't know. We're going to find out.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care because that's Jimmy. But
How far is Brook Park in this proposed dome shopping complex from like here, where we're sitting right now?
Like 15.
It'd take 15 minutes with no traffic. It's 15.
Right down 71.
So basically the same distance it takes to get to Crocker Park from here.
Yeah.
Crocker might
but you
be a
gotta think
couple
about the
minutes
east side.
longer.
No, I'm just saying
on
from
the east
right
side,
here.
like 10
I'm just trying to
minutes.
visualize in my head.
Yeah,
not
from
for-
here you jump. It's just you jump on 90 versus jumping on 71.
Right,
I mean, it's,
right.
You know.
But distance-wise, about the same.
Yeah.
It's about the same. Yeah.
No, I think if you live, I mean, I don't really matter. I think if you live in Lakewood, it's a little easier getting to Crocker Park because you just jump on 90 as opposed to driving the streets south, really, from there. But whatever. Listen, and there'll be people who will come up. I mean, are you coming up? I guess you're not coming up from Akron to.
No.
That's too far. But
No.
and we'll see. But it's a long way before that happens. Listen, the stadium's going to be nice. It's going to be a nicer stadium.
4 more years.
You know.
Is that enough time to build a dome?
Yes.
4 years?
You need 3.
Just
Minnesota, I actually just looked this up this morning. We were talking about this morning. Shovels went in the ground in Minnesota. It was about 3 full years that it took to build.
yeah.
Now, you're not going to have the whole thing done.
No, you're not going to have
But
the
the
store.
stadium,
Yeah, the stadium's the most
3 years.
So
important.
29 is the year they're going to play there for the first time?
29. Yeah.
Will they
plenty of
win a
time.
playoff game in downtown?
No.
No.
Will they host a playoff?
Yeah, will
game?
they host the playoff game?
Wait, I didn't even think there's a chance. When was the downtown stadium built?
99.
So 99 through 2028
28
season. There's a chance that an entire stadium could go through its existence
30 years.
Never hosted
without hosting a playoff
Correct.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
so I mean, I don't want to derail this. I did the show with Ken this morning. It was
Yeah.
Ken and I. We did probably an hour or more on I Said Good Riddance. Like, screw it. That thing's
Yeah.
awful. It's a haunted
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And he was telling me about
I
how
can't
much.
wait to see you this Sunday in this haunted house.
Well, and Ken was saying like all the memories he's got with his boy and with
Yeah.
his kids, and I'm like, man, screw that. That place
What
is dumb.
memories? They stink.
Like, let's rank your favorite memories. Brandon Whedon getting trapped under the flag, the dog pound banner being put down in the wrong order.
Johnny Manziel's first game.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, what are we really talking about here? That place was a
You
hole.
mean to tell me you wasn't feeling it that Thursday night game to clinch the playoffs?
After they'd lost 417 games in a Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you meant the Jets opening the beer cooler.
No, I'm talking about.
And
2
I
years
believe,
ago.
and Mike or maybe Jason or maybe Tyvis, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe when this stadium closes and you look at all-time wins in this stadium, that Ben Roethlisberger and Joe Flacco, who only played a little bit for the Browns, will be 2 and 3 in most wins in the stadium behind only Baker, I think.
Yeah, that's probably, that's why I said,
I mean, think about the insanity of that.
That's why I said this morning, you know who loves that stadium? Ben Roethlisberger loves that stadium. He'll be sad to see it get torn down. Knock it in the water and shove it into Canada
that's it.
and forget about it.
And now the
that
city
thing has been a blight.
And now the city has to take, obviously this is a long-term thing.
Lakefront.
We're talking 10 years from now maybe. You've got to take that, and what the hell do I know? But you would think you got to take all that land and the airport land, and they've got to try to turn that area into like a mini Chicago. That's what
Wait a minute,
I know.
they
That's not.
taking the airport too?
I don't know, but they should.
Jimmy letting them take that airport?
He don't own the airport. Well, at least I don't think he does, right?
He flies there quite
But
often.
he and Dan like to use it.
Screw him. What does he need to use it anymore? He's not in Cleveland.
That's true. Well, you know that, and again, we talked about that this morning.
Yeah.
That one of the things, like the sort of spin-offs of this,
Yeah.
that's super interesting to me. Like, if you're the Browns, how do you approach the city of Cleveland now? You won. Like, this was a shutout. You got everything.
Yeah.
So do you go to them now and still say, "Hey, we offered to help. We're going to honor that. We're going
They
to,"
should.
or are you going to say, "You had your chance.
Yeah.
We're done.
They
Figure it
should,
out on
but
your own."
Whatever. You know.
It'll be interesting to watch how that.
What is the plan for the downtown?
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Is it restaurants? Is it
Who
housing?
knows? I saw a rendering about a little beach area, and I don't know.
Edgewater ain't good
They
enough.
were trying. The city's proposal was built around the stadium, which was dumb from the start. It needs to get moved off that water spot. It's a dumb spot for location. Like you've got these beautiful architectural structures of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the Science Center.
Yeah.
And then you've got this freaking museum that sits empty.
Yeah.
350 days a year.
Jason, I've
Get it out
never
of
seen you. I've never seen you this amped
Jay
up.
was suggesting they build a concert venue there.
Like a little amphitheater, like what they already have right across the river.
Well, more like Blossom or something like that. I've never been to Blossom, so I don't know.
You never been to Blossom?
No.
Blossom can hold like 25,000 people. I don't
Yeah.
know if you could fit that many down there.
What do you mean?
They fit 60 on a
They
game.
fit
day.
60 for the football.
80.
80 for a football game.
I don't know.
All right, yeah, down with Blossom. You're right.
I don't know.
Blossom, but
whatever.
I'm just saying.
This is down the line. I mean, 10 years from now, who knows?
They need more companies like Sherwin-Williams to bring business here. And Cleveland has to do a better job of holding on to its younger demographic. The brain drain is real in Cleveland. People grow up here and they move away.
Well,
and we need
there's
to retain.
reasons for that.
Okay,
that's not just because of the city. It's more about the state. But
I disagree with that. I disagree with that.
Somebody just told me that something about the tax got cut 3.5%. What that's about, you know?
What now?
Something about Ohio's tax got cut 3.5%.
I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't know nothing about it.
Anyway, let's.
But if you hold on to your younger demographics, you
Yeah.
have downtown housing for them. That's how you help regenerate downtown.
Right.
But when people
There's
grow
gotta
up
be
here,
good jobs,
and they
too.
and that's why I'm saying you need more companies like Sherwin-Williams.
Yeah.
That's why Dan has brought a branch of Quicken or whatever he's calling it these days
Rocket.
to Cleveland.
Rocket or
I asked Jimmy if he would bring Pilot, and then they sold Pilot, and he said no. We're happy with it in Tennessee, and then they liquidated or they sold it anyway.
Yeah.
So, but we need
Got
more
away with that
companies.
too. His whole criminal enterprise there. He got away with all of it.
Yeah.
Jason, I got one last question for you, then we
Yeah.
can move on to our next topic. But do you know, yesterday, and correct me if I'm wrong, not only did they rewrite the Modell Law, but the state also confirmed that the Browns are going to get $600 million to help fund this project, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Do you know if that is coming from bonds or unclaimed funds?
Both. It's coming from unclaimed funds, and then the Browns will pay it back through tax revenue generated by the new facility.
Yeah, maybe.
So, and they're on the hook for any shortfalls if the taxes don't add up.
Don't
then
worry.
the Browns are on the hook. And I'm with you.
Yeah.
You should have paid for the whole thing. Short of that, this
Yeah.
is a pretty good deal for the public. It really is.
Well,
it is.
only because we've been conditioned to believe we should pay for
But
it.
no, but
Compared to the other situations, yes.
the money that they're taking from the
Yeah.
state, they're paying back.
Do we know that for sure?
Yes, it's the money generated from the taxes is what's paying for this, and then any shortfalls of that is covered by them. Any overruns, and there are going to be overruns. Construction prices are through the roof. Buffalo's dealing with that now. Buffalo Stadium is way more expensive
when is
than
theirs
what
supposed
they.
to be done?
They're starting to sell season tickets now. I don't remember.
I think 28 is when it opens, right?
Oh. Will
If they're selling season tickets, got to be
Will
before
they ever
that.
host the Super Bowl?
And I'm sure this new
No.
Brown Stadium will have.
Because it's outdoors.
I'm sure this new Brown
so
Stadium will have plenty of seats for the fans that can't afford much.
It's gonna be sticker shock for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Hopefully they will retain spots in the upper deck or something for people who can't afford the better seats. We'll see. And then the last thing on this, how pissed are you if you're the Guardians right now? Because you just did your entire renovation. You got very, very little money from the state.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Daryl Ryder made a good point this morning. That came from the general fund. This is not. Their money did come from the general fund from the state. But they just, and the Guardians, what they envisioned for their overhaul or whatever, the final product was nothing like what their original intentions were. But because the construction prices being so astronomically high, this is what they settled on, and they did a great job. It looks really nice,
Yeah.
but it's not anywhere near what they had initially
What did they want?
envisioned.
What's the big deal they wanted to do that didn't get
Well,
done?
a lot. They were going to flip first and third base. The Guardians were going to move to the first base side because there's more room back there for some of the training things and
Right.
the underground thing was going to be totally different. Left field, they had totally different plans for the restaurant that they took out. And
Yeah.
But they did a great job. Like, I'm not knocking
it's a
what they
great
did.
ballpark.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
They did a great job. They worked within the means of what they had.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, had this been available to them, because now the Bengals have now
Oh yeah, Mike
access to
Brown's
this
coming
money.
with his hand out, no doubt.
So, but another thing that worth touching on, the way that they rewrote the Modell Law, Columbus is a viable threat now to take a team. It is. Mike Brown can use Columbus's leverage against the city of Cincinnati if he doesn't get what he wants. So
You're looking at me like I care. What do I care?
I'll just move to Columbus.
Oh, you care a lot.
Why would I care if they play in
see
Columbus, Cincinnati? It doesn't matter to
you
me. I don't
shaking
live
in your
there.
boots over there, Bull.
What's that?
That'd be
Bad
closer
Bull,
for him to
all
go to the
intimidated
games.
by
Yeah, I'd
Columbus
rather
now.
be in Columbus. Let's move them to Columbus. I don't care.
Big
move
bad
them here.
Bull.
Just ride with me. I have you
Shaking in
down
his
and
Let
back.
the Bengals play in the stadium downtown.
The new Bills Stadium opens in 26, not 28. I
All
apologize.
right. Yeah, you should apologize, Mike.
The Bills
Big
is in
bad Bull,
20. You
all
said the
up in his
Bills is
britches.
26?
26, yeah.
So next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the last season.
So this the
they're gonna
last
play in
season.
their current-
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.